Hello and welcome from the break. The hashtag is KTN Life and Style. This is Inspiration Monday Perspectives, and today we are talking about the boy child. And I'd like to thank Victoria Courts. They have amazing furniture, their seats, their beds. Just make your way here so that you can know what I'm talking about. It's situated along Mombasa Road, just after Panari, up or just before you get to Standard Group, our offices. So make your way here and see for yourself on what I'm talking about. So before the break, you had asked us a question. So who wants to go first and answer Boychild's question?
For me, I think of course every girl wants security.
Yeah.
Even in the wilderness, female will go for the alpha male. When I was growing up, actually these things were not very prevalent. Like, we never used to look at, like, maybe if you're talking about material wealth or something.
Yeah.
I think we used to look at potential. Is this guy hardworking enough? You're going to grow together. But unfortunately, we were talking before, during the break, and she was talking about fluidity or something of the sort.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things have changed. They are not where they used to be.
Yeah.
And this is the reason I think some of the issues where the boy child is crying out, because even the boy child is not socialized to deal with the current woman. The woman who wants, like, what do you have? I'm not starting from, like, what
From
do you
scratch.
have? Yeah, so I think that's my answer.
We're not patient
Things
anymore.
have changed.
To start from, we are walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking of change, let's look at the way the society has changed itself based on the various social arrangements. The society itself, to operate harmoniously, has different social arrangements and institutions and processes that cause the society to operate harmoniously. We have economic arrangements, the way that we get resources, and everybody is well resourced so they are taken care of physically. There is a social arrangements, the communities, from church to organizations to social setups. Even workplaces are social places. Our home is families are social arrangement. Then we have spiritual arrangements, which are the various spiritual communities. All of them have a place to play.
Yeah.
So earlier I was saying that we were once hunters and gatherers, and therefore the social roles were different, because then we lived, human beings lived in the wild, and there was the threat were animals, and of course the vagaries of weather, So there was man going out to hunt and to come back, and the woman was at home, maybe nurturing the children and putting up the shelter, or the little shelter, wherever they needed to be. Then slowly we became organized human communities, the agrarian communities, and therefore social roles again shifted in a certain way. Now, because we need to actually, even man had to develop. It's not just running. Now we need to start planning for seasons, and seed and cultivating and harvesting and storing. Some form of some skills and planning and seasons came in, including human beings now starting to learn how to manage their lives around seasons and time. Then slowly we move to the industrial age, now knowledge worker age, and these social roles need to keep shifting. Unfortunately now, we have socialized the boy child still using the pre-industrial Stone Age kind of social roles and thinking. Now we live in a knowledge worker world, society, where everybody is going to work. People have left the rural areas, they've come to the place of work. Now we even have gig economy, or you are working from where you are. We have digital nomads working from, and these are the people who are coming together to form families. Therefore, the social roles and social arrangements also have to change. But because the social roles are lagging behind the economic arrangements, even some of the social support systems are still way behind. That's why men cannot come out and speak openly and say, let's have a voice for men. We need to bring these social systems that have taken so slow to catch up with economic arrangement and globalization and whatever else is happening, so that we don't have this gap. Then we can have a harmonious society where a man feels, I can come in and fix a meal for myself. I'm the one who is picking the kids today or doing the dishes today. And then of course the society is changing completely, that shift. Everything is fluid. The disruption that is happening is disrupting everything. The religious institutions, the social institutions, the economic this disruption. And as human beings, we just have to adjust. If you are unable to adjust, you will feel inadequate. You will feel poorly resourced to respond to life as it is coming to you. Then when you feel poorly resourced and you are unable to adjust, you are poorly adjusted to what is life, you feel inadequate, then of course depression sets in, mental health issues set in because you feel inadequate. You're not measuring up to challenges of life coming to you, even the everyday transactions of life, because we are continuously transacting ourselves. You're unable to do so.
Sebi, do you prefer a man who will take care of you, like financially, everything, just basically give you all that security, or a man that should be equal in the house? When you're coming late, they're cooking, they're staying with the kids, and you're the breadwinner?
Gosh, I don't think it's all about the one taking care of me financially and all that. I think the basic of marriage that I would wish to have in life is fully dependent on communication. We must have a proper communication in the house. I don't care whether you lost your job or not. Are we able to communicate properly and to understand one another? It doesn't matter whether you're the president of this country. When you're coming home, just play the role of the man in Genesis. I am not the one who made the Bible. God ordained marriage. So if I am going to get involved in a marriage, then what I need to do is, before, I also need to work with the God, the Most High. I am looking at my values, I'm looking at my beliefs, my goals and dreams. So the man I'm going on with must align with what I have. I'll tell you something, I am at that age, whereby you'll find a rich young man this age, probably very liquid, you don't know where they got the money, flashing 100,000 in a club. I don't think you appeal to me, because why are you splashing 100,000? I need to see, I need to know, are you cultivating, are you planning? Where is our future? For instance, I don't mind if you drink, I don't drink. So if we are spending 100,000, we don't have a house. We don't know tomorrow. So it means if you're splashing 100,000 that you earned, you sweated earning this money, and you are not planning tomorrow, then to me that's a no man. So I don't care whether you have money or not. What matters to me most is the goals, the values, the dreams, and communication. That is what I would. Before you go, Ed, I would like to ask both of you that should a woman marry up or down in terms of education? Which one is most likely to survive?
Wow, it's a good question.
Okay, let me ask again. Should the woman be more educated or the guy?
Exactly, that's what
Up
she
or
means.
down?
Yeah, that's a
I think for me it's not an issue. Because sometimes even you marry and you don't have maybe a degree, and maybe the lady or the man ends up getting a PhD or something. For me, it doesn't matter. As you said, communication is everything. And if as a man you're intimidated by a learned woman, then for me personally, I wouldn't choose that person. I think it's not a battle of the sexes, and we are not trying to be men. There is a reason God created a man and created a woman. We just want men to help us be the best women we can be. I'm not trying to be a man, I just want to be the best woman I can be. So if I want to be the most learned woman, be okay with that. Then that man I'm comfortable with.
But are there men out there who would be comfortable with that?
I think the question should go back to the fact that are there women out there who would be in that capacity and still submit to a man?
A man.
That's all. Because mostly you find that the moment, a man would throw himself out there to make sure that you're empowered and all that, because we have men who do that. But then at the end of the day, the moment you hit the sailing, the man becomes just another trash down there. All men are trash. And the moment you call all men trash, your father is a trash, your brothers are trash. So I think this thing goes back to individuals, as she insinuated, because at the end of the day, are you able as a woman to be empowered and still be able to be with a man and not try to show it off and rub it on his face? And are you a man who is able to live with an empowered woman and still not feel intimidated? And it goes back to you understanding, number one, your identity, as she puts it, because identity is what is going to make you stand out there. Because if the moment somebody realizes that this is what I'm made to do, we will shine in that place of our identity, of our purpose, and then you won't have to be competing with anybody, both male and female. But competition comes when you don't really know yourself. You're doing things simply because you want to survive. But then at the end of the day, when you come back home, you still, to tick a box, I'm employed, I'm this and that. So at the end of the day, you don't feel fulfilled. And lack of that fulfillment will make you look down on your wife or treat her in a wrong way, especially if she's up there and you're academically down.
And where do you think, if I could ask, when do you think we should draw the line? Like, where should we draw that line and say, okay, I think we still need to let the men feel like they're men, even though they're playing roles that are believed to be women roles, or when the women are playing roles that are apparently men. So where should there be a line there?
Allow me to correct you by saying this, sorry. I don't think women should let men feel they're men, you see? Because the moment you do that, it's like we are saying women should be given opportunities. I don't believe in giving anybody opportunities. I believe that if equity and equality we are talking about here is anything to go by, it should be a fair level ground. So fair level ground, I saw a picture where there are stocks of and people standing. So equity stands for we have a level ground where we both can compete competitively without having to put the other person down. We have equal access. So if we say, for example, okay, can we still be women? Can we make men feel they're men?
They're still men.
It's like you are saying, they are not men, but now let me just do it to make them feel they are
men.
Yeah,
no,
massage.
I mean,
men.
Because most men like that.
Yes, I know.
To be submissive, like I'm the one bringing the money, yes, but you would probably not be happy if I was to come home and remind you daily that I'm the one bringing the money in here. Where have you been sitting the whole day not cleaning the house? And you see me putting you down like that, then you feel like less of a man. And of course, we're not going to cope. Tutakosana. Yeah. And then women, can we also, there are roles we're playing, like now there's so many women leaders, but there's so many people out there who are like women as leaders compared to men. Men are better leaders because women rule with emotions. So you find a woman today has come to work, she's on her period, or she's had a bad day, then she takes it out on everyone. Compared to a man who will just come, yell at you for not doing your job, 5 minutes later, they're already your friend. So do you think like we also should be trusted with such roles? Are we there yet?
But some of these things are just stereotypes. They are biases. They are stereotypes and biases. There's a human being is a physical being. A human being is an emotional being. A human being is an intellectual being. A human being is a spiritual being. And really, when we talk about a safe home environment or a safe workplace or a safe social place, is whereby people find expression, the full expression of who they are, without negating the value of the other person. There is a way you can express yourself and you negate the value of the other person. Why we are called a civilized society, not because we have fine clothing, fine makeup and jewelry, or fine cars and big houses. Civilization is the ability whereby you recognize that you're of value because you're a human being, and you recognize that as a human being they are of value. And as you establish your value or your rights, at the same time you recognize the rights of the other human being and don't discount them. So when you start saying that women are emotional, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. In any case, all things in life are emotional actually. I mean, relationships come together because they're emotional. We talk about having a passion for your job because you're emotional. You are creative because you're emotional.
Emotional.
We cannot discount who we are
Yeah.
and stereotype it
Yeah.
and give it a feminine face. Emotions are for feminine.
Yeah.
Then I don't know, physique is for men, but I'm still a physical human
Yeah,
being
yeah,
who should
yeah.
also stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think we need to readjust our biases and prejudices and stereotypes, and we stop socializing the children, school, and people continuously. Even the media houses themselves, even Hollywood themselves,
Yeah.
they've been propagating these stereotypes and biases through the movies, through whatever children watch on the screen. It is time to stop it,
Yeah.
so that then we can have an objective conversation that says, how can everyone again be able to have equal access, be able to realize their potential, live harmoniously. I don't need to have a checklist that has been handed over to me by society. This is the way a man should be, this is what a woman should be.
Yeah.
We may not change ourselves, people are changing themselves biologically if they want, but
Yeah.
we're talking about social roles.
Yeah, yeah.
Social roles, they are rearranged to create a harmonious relationship at home, at work. That's why we are talking about diversity,
Yeah, yeah.
equality,
Yeah.
inclusion, and the fourth one, belonging.
Should
So
we
this
also-
issue of feeling
Yeah.
is
It's
somebody should
something-
feel comfortable that I belong.
Actually-
You invited me and you have allowed me to have a voice in
have
your
a-
house. That is belonging, isn't it?
A few weeks back, we were talking about social media, and I had a panel of men. So we're talking about how the effect it has on the political scene. So they were saying that you're there, you want to fight as a woman. So you should also be able to take it in when bullies come your way, when the men are coming your way. You should be able to take it in as well and not go like, after everyone now is on your case, you're like, no, I'm a woman, now I'm emotional. So you should be able to take it the way you want to be, like a man, and then have some hard skin, create some tough skin.
Let me touch slightly on what she has said.
Yeah.
This thing of emotions has been talked about so many times. For me, I think it's stereotype, it's propaganda. And this thing is the one which has brought to where now the boy child is
It's crying now.
Because the boy child is not
Yeah.
supposed to cry.
Yet they also
Which is
have
a
emotions.
misconception.
And they have
This is why
emotions as well.
now we are having a high rate of men
Yeah.
killing themselves.
themselves, yeah,
So
yeah.
we need to lay off all this issue. If you don't have emotion, really, you are just then a cyborg.
Yeah.
Can I,
How
can
will
I
you
pose a
connect?
question?
And human studies about connection.
In fact, if
you know-
women had,
Sorry?
I'm saying, in fact, if women, we have more emotions, then it should have been more women killing themselves, but it's mostly men
Yeah, now the
who are
question
considered not to have
goes
emotions.
back to the women. Would you be comfortable living with a man who cries like women can cry when things happen? At the end of the day, you'll start saying, I have a cry baby in my house,
I'd be okay with it, but it depends what are you
laws that
crying
we get as
about.
men.
Because there are men who just cry for no reason. What exactly are you crying about?
But women
What are
can
you
cry
crying
for
about? Yeah, we cry for anything. But now, hey, what are you crying about for me to be okay with it?
By the way, let me tell you something that men do not know. Women, sometimes it's not just one problem that is making her cry.
Yeah, it's normally
Probably
a
there is
compilation.
a pile.
Yeah, yes.
There's
yes.
something that happened, it was not addressed.
It's true.
It was left. Probably the man was busy, or both of you got busy. She went to work.
Or
and
the
then
man
next
kept
day
saying,
there's
"Una leta
something."
drama to
there's-
bure.
So it just needs something slight to ignite it.
Yeah.
Then she is full blown. And I think, men, please, it's okay to cry.
No,
But I'm still going to ask
I think
exactly
it's okay
what
to
they're
cry.
crying about.
It's okay to cry in your closet. Don't do it with your woman looking at you. I'm being honest on this,
Yeah.
She's a shoulder to cry on.
My first relationship,
Yeah.
I love to mention this. My first relationship was a toxic relationship. And it was full of battles and, pull and push. And every time I would feel hurt, I would want to express it.
Yeah.
And what was the next response from the lady? You are a crybaby, or you are nagging. Men should not be nagging.
Nagging.
So what we do to prove to you we are not crybabies and we are not nagging, we will go in our own cocoon. And men don't share their problems also, which is why I encourage men to go to safe
even
spaces,
themselves,
even amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
We will not share, man, that woman is something else. Because we are afraid when we say that to a fellow man, he will immediately judge us. So man is on the receiving end. We like it or not. We are judged left, we are judged right. So what do? Close yourself and fight it on. But I think at the end of the day, we should have a launch pad both the female and the male gender, whereby you know that this is how I deal with this pressure, and this is how I need to deal with it. And understand your partner, you see? If your partner is this person who will understand you when you cry, boy child cry. But if you know, knowing this person will really help you so much.
Yeah.
You'll know even how to behave. I'm not saying you behave differently so that you can please them. Be yourself. But still, make sure you understand them to the extent you know what you can do to provoke their ego. Women are also egoistic. We know that. So,
But also, I think for men, this brings back to what she said. Communication. I think as human beings, we need communication. And what is actually messing people up, especially in marriage these days, is people don't communicate. Like, you don't communicate even before you get married. Like, the thing about like a stay-at-home dad, you might be wanting to stay at home, but your wife is uncomfortable, but she's not telling you.
So she's making you seem it's okay, but then inside...
Most of us Kenyans or Africans rarely talk about finances. We don't talk about religion. You find even sometimes you get kids and you are unaanza kushindwa, okay, I'm Catholic, so where do we go? You see, for me now, what I know now, I think it's very important for people to talk about these things.
Yes, the details.
Talk about this.
Ask the hard questions.
Ask the hard questions. Yes.
That they will change, you know. Maybe love will make them change. I don't think love makes anybody.
And also remember, some of us were also socialized not to usiambie watu mambo ya kwenu.
Yes.
That's another thing which is affecting people. You don't take your issues to the neighbors and say jana hata tulikosa chakula. And this is what is also killing the men and the boy child. You don't talk about things, you can't tell things which are happening. Don't wash your dirty linen in public. If you're hungry, you've lost your job, you need to talk about it. You need to vent.
Job. It's a reality.
And it's happening really right now to men. Most men do not have jobs, which is sad, but they need to talk about it. Express how you're feeling, talk to your fellow men. Wacheni kukaa chini mnaongea about cute things and sports and politically correct things. Vent. As women vent.
Yeah, I know. But you know, the safe space again is the main issue here, because you like it or not, we will want to vent. You know, men could really vent if you give us the space. But then the question is, who am I venting to? At the end of the day, what will they think about me? And men are these people who wants to look like the Superman. All of us, I think even women, you want to look like in the society you're strong. You're the
Superman syndrome.
Yeah, the Superman syndrome. So,
but at least for women, it gets to a point where at least we admit to each other. When you're saying we're talking in the salon, you'll be like, me lakini sasa nimechoka. Huyu tu analala kwa nyumba kila saa. We'll still vent. For men, mkiwa pamoja ni check yule dem. Football, politics. But lo useme tu, mi niko frustrated, I'm at home, sina job, naona wife anachoka. Just don't talk about it.
It's the same thing which
we give them space.
Like even men.
But they should create the space. But they should create the space themselves also, because women created the space. It is create the space, and of course, I think the most important thing is for us to be able to move forward as a society is first of all to debunk all these myths of idealized femininity or idealized masculinity. That this is the ideal, this is the ideal. And especially when these ideals were created at a different generation and a time and a season under different circumstances and events of the past. Now, as you're saying, the disruption, the society has shifted, the world is shifting, and we are all having all this disruption affecting us. Is to say this checklist is not, it's no longer working. Let's come up with a workable way of socializing, relationship, of engaging, and we get rid of this checklist that we hand down to every generation, from grandfather to the father to the son. The same checklist that was used in 1500, now it is being used in 2020 and will be used in 2050. There will be a disconnect indeed. Yes.
I think the boy child also finds it more easier to defend and fight for the women as opposed to fighting for yourself. There's a time back, King Kaka was doing a campaign about working for the girl child to get pads, And he tweeted that, and most people are congratulating him until like one guy started, no, what about the boy child at home who's still herding cows, naendi shule? So he responds and says, I'm just one person fighting for the fee. If you feel like you need to fight for the meals, then go ahead.
Yeah.
But then still no one did that. They were still bashing him like, oh, it's all about the women, all about the women, all about the women, as opposed to them also saying, okay, sawa, let me also start mine and fight for the boy child.
Agreed. Give yourself the space. Don't wait to be given the space.
As an activist, I get that a lot. I'm tagged on everything. Every social injustice. I want, okay, it's not bad to create awareness, but you can also, I usually say change begins with you and me. You can also, if the boy child is making you, if you're passionate about them, do it. You're here. Thank you for coming. You are here for she.
You have represented
positive masculinity. This is what you're talking about. You're doing something about it. You're not tasking somebody else to do it. So I'd like to call all the men, even when we have events like International Day of the Girl Child Women's Day is coming up. We have men. That's what people don't know. There are men who come. There are men who are feminists, as we were saying. Actually, men do turn up and they speak on the boy child.
Because they are fathers of girls.
And again,
just like they are mothers of boys.
Apart from that, it goes back to the fact that such events for women work so well. So there are just some men who want to support it because they know it will be successful. Show me,
give them some brand,
you know, I'm supporting women. The question is, the biggest question should be, have you ever had a successful day, International Day of Men, organized successfully? We celebrate, you know, women can forget the birthday of their spouses, but dare you forget
theirs
birthday.
to be all hell.
You know, as she said,
Okay, guys, so
I want
Just
to answer
quickly,
you.
because
I
we're
read
out
a
of
book
time.
by Tim Allen. He's a comedian, a funny guy. He said the reason why men fear prison because there are no women. So I am thinking, whatever you're talking about, men will sit down and think, there are no women? You mean there are no women? I'm not going. So definitely
it's true.
So I am telling you, that word is bound to fail. And the reason why the other one works out is because they are actually women. What I'm thinking about all this is that, can we make our community a safer place whereby we bring women on board and bring men on board? Not a case of a woman to outdo a man. Number one. Number two, women cannot be equal to men. They're completely different people. It's God who did. And I normally say this, that nobody enjoys a monopoly of explaining who Reinhard is. Even your own mother. You grow daily, you have different chemicals, different hormonal balance and everything. The whole idea is, are you guys able to communicate to one another? Are we able to understand each other? And the problem is that the good things, people are not able to express them as much as they want to express the bad things. So that is where now the problems stem from. Yeah, I would express more hate, aggressiveness towards someone than how I want to express love. We keep on saying, why is so and so hating? You that you love that person, why don't you express your love? Right? So I think the whole idea is about communication and understanding one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, ran out of time, but maybe you can quickly tell people at home where they can find you.
Once again, I'm Sebi Cox, Nyasego on both social media, Twitter and everything. I am a relationship panelist. I am also a brand influencer and I'm a marketer. Thank you.
Hey Boychild and everyone outside there. I hope I did represent you well. I'm Rainer the Tailor, the Lion of Africa, as they commonly call me. You can find me on all social media platforms at Prince Reinhard Atela, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all over. There we go.
Yeah, I'm Mary Washeke, and many people call me Washeke the Coach. You'll find me on Facebook. My page is Become More to Do More. Instagram and YouTube, Washeke the Coach. And you can email me at info@washekethecoach.com. And really, and my parting shot is that equality is not sameness. So let's not start thinking that women want to be the same as men. It's equality is not sameness, but equality is a socio-economic development agenda.
Thank you so much.
My name is Rita Mudeu, her voice. Her voice means health and empowerment and rights before you say it's about her. You can find me on social media. We have a page called Her Voice. We are also the global ambassadors, the Kenya chapter for 1 billion raising Kenya. So you can also find us on both pages.
Thank you so
Could I add
much.
to men that you can also come and have such a conversation about men on our social media page, Men Talk Africa, and you can just invite us and let's talk as men.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really appreciate it. I know we can go on, and this is such a lovely topic. We can still take the conversation offline. You can hashtag KTN Life and Style, hashtag the Boychild. You can still let us know what you feel, Boychild especially. We had one representing you. We need more of you to tell us how exactly you feel. Thank you so much, Victoria Courts. This amazing furniture. You guys just make your way here so you can know what I'm talking about. It's along Mombasa Road, just before Standard Group Media. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we still have so much more by Catherine Mwangi.